Awakening your everyday wisdom, quantum physics. How can you be happy and motivated and energetic using the principles of quantum physics? That's what this is all about. Now, quantum theory is very different from the way we were taught about physics years ago, where the universe works like clockwork and atoms are the basic form of physical matter. All that's changing. And it's kind of weird, but it's also very liberating because it gives us power over our lives where we used to be subject to whatever was happening around us. Now with quantum physics, we're actually in a position to cause what's happening around us. I'll get into this in more detail. So the basic principles that I've come to understand, and I'm not a scientist, so I can't tell you a lot of details, but there are a lot of great thinkers who can fill you in on how all this stuff works. What I've come to understand is that everything vibrates, and there aren't any solid units of matter. Everything comes into material form as a result of conscious awareness and observation. That's very different. So, what does this mean? And how does it make a difference in our lives? Well, with quantum computing right around the corner, we're going to be hearing a lot more about quantum mechanics, quantum theory, quantum physics. So I just want to address it in a way that makes the average person feel like, yeah, I can do something with this information. So, we've all heard that thoughts are things. Well, probably most of us have. What does that actually mean? Thoughts are things. So that's getting right to the core. The main principle in quantum physics is that we can, when we pay attention to our thoughts and our beliefs, we can then gain control over how things show up in our reality. So we'll get into it a little bit more here. As a human being, you have free will. Now, don't take this statement lightly. It puts the power in your hands. Now, if somebody's suffering from mental or physical disabilities or emotional trauma, they might not be in a position to be able to create their own reality. I'm not saying that they should be able to. What I'm saying is, if you have a sound mind and a healthy body, or near healthy, you have a lot of power. And my job is to help you see how to use that power. So we'll talk about 3 components of your personal power. The first one is energy, and mood is the second one, and motivation is the third one. So let's talk about energy. What exactly do we mean by energy? You know, a lot of us think of heat and motion, light. Yeah, all those are forms of energy. But what about your personal energy? That's whatever it is that gets you up in the morning and causes you to do the things that you do during the day. And we all know that we have to renew our energy, right? So our work is to discover how to control whatever it is that increases our energy and to avoid what it is that decreases our energy. And this is where the act of observation comes in. We have to become a student of our own selves, so to say. So in this video, I'm going to touch on a few things, but in part B, I'm going to give you a lot of information on how to raise your vibrational energy. Positive daily habits are always good. We know that that helps us get what we want. But if you don't want to manage your thoughts and your behavior and your habits, well, then you're right about how your life sucks and how awful it is. You can just stay there. But if you don't want to be there and you want to improve your life and you want to have more energy, there are things you can do. It takes some work. Of course it does. So let's talk about mood. What are the sources of your personal energy or your general mood at the emotional level? So if quantum theory is correct and everything vibrates and it is undetermined in the physical world until it is observed or measured, then we need to take a look at what we're observing. We need to pay attention to what we're paying attention to, because that indicates what we get. It's kind of like what you see is what you get. Yeah, that's a very interesting concept. Another one is what you focus on is what you attract. So let's look at that a little bit more. So your free will, let's talk about that again. It is the most important, powerful capacity that you have for changing your mood. And you can use your everyday wisdom to guide you for making good choices as to what you need. Your everyday wisdom is very strong, so you're not going to be getting this from me. Your wisdom's going to tell you what to pay attention to out of this video. That's how it works. So if there's only one step that you can take and it uses up the entire balance of your lifetime, it is the most important step you can take. And that is to free yourself from oppression, depression, and compulsion. And one way to do that is raising your vibrational, energetic level. So here's a journaling question, and I do think journaling is a great way to observe. So here's a question. What do I believe about blank, and why do I believe that? Now, the reason I'm addressing beliefs is because that is the foundational building block of your thoughts, your behaviors. Everything comes out of your belief system. So if you aren't real clear about why you believe what you believe, it's going to be harder for you to make adjustments in the outcomes that you're producing. So we want to start with belief. Another way to raise your energetic, emotional vibration is to analyze where you are energetically, emotionally, and where you want to be. Now, I have a little chart here. You may have seen this. It comes from the law of attraction. It's called the ladder of emotional vibrations. Take a look at this chart here. So let's just say that you're in a funk and you're feeling frustrated and impatient. You can see that is kind of low on this chart. So the key to moving your energetic, emotional vibration is not to try to go from frustrated and impatient all the way up to love and joy. This incremental. So we want to choose a higher state and develop a path for getting there. So let's say you're in this funk and you really would rather be happy and optimistic. So you look at the chart and you find a midway point. So maybe that would be contentment. So then you say, okay, how can I be more content? Now, here's another journaling question. What is it that brings you contentment, and why? Once you know the answer to those two questions, you'll be able to start generating more and more contentment in your life. And once you've reached an authentic place of contentment, then you could start moving up to the happiness level. So the third component of your personal power is motivation. So you might be wondering, what does this have to do with quantum physics? Well, our scientists are coming to realize that the basis of reality is consciousness, the ground state of existence. Now, if that's true, and we can all say, well, yeah, I'm a conscious being, and then a lot of us say, well, there's this greater all-encompassing consciousness that we might call God. And if those are the ground state of existence, then certainly the power of prayer is strong, but it gives us a way to deal with whatever's going on in our world, in our personal lives, in the global situation. Two different people can be faced with a similar or the same situation, and one person might learn from it, grow from it, and come out of it with resolution and strength. Another person might dwell on it, talk about it all the time, kind of find other people to commiserate with, and they're handling the same situation in two different ways. Now, do you suppose they get two different outcomes? Oh, of course they would. The one who's wallowing in the pity, they are going to stay stuck, probably as long as they keep the fear or the pain going. Now, there are probably a lot of factors involved because no two people are exactly the same. But it does make us think, why are some people, why do they just sink? And then why do we have some people like the unsinkable Miss Molly Brown from the Titanic? Remember, she was one of the survivors in one of the lifeboats, and she helped a lot of people survive. And you go, wow, how come some people just sank to the bottom of the ocean and then there's somebody like her? It makes us wonder, what is she operating from? And that's where we're going with this. So in summary, the keys of quantum physics are vibration, frequency, and energy. And the keys to having a lovely life are vibration, frequency, and energy. That's the big connection that I'm trying to make here. So if you want to hear more how to raise your vibrations, then stick around for part B. Thank you. Thank you for listening and participating in this video. If you'd like to chat, here's my email address. Feel free to contact me. I'm here to provide support. And please like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much. Blessings.